Hello, friends. Welcome to today's daily devotion. I'm Kerry Wood, pastor of the Goldston Methodist Church in Goldston, North Carolina. We are a global Methodist congregation, and this week we're exploring a topic out of our God box of what does the Bible say about anxiety and mental health. Yesterday we talked about Psalm 91 being a great source for us to understand what we can do when we are faced with anxiety-producing experiences. We're going to continue with that this day with Psalm 91, picking it up in verse 9 and reading through verse 13. Grab your Bibles, open it up to Psalm 91. Let us share these words together. If you say, "The Lord is my refuge," and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you. No disaster will come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample on the great lion and serpent. Well, just as yesterday we talked about how ramparts and shields are not part of our everyday vocabulary, I don't think any of us in the 21st century are trying to chase lions or cobras and deal with those kinds of ferocious animals. And yet, there is a ferocity of what is happening in the world around us that's just like a hungry, angry lion, just like a hissing cobra, ready to strike and bite and poison. In fact, I would say that in many ways, we live in one of the most poisonous societies ever, because everything around us seems to be about creating conflict, about setting up one against the other. And the way to get around all that is to, again, come back to trusting in the Lord. That's why the psalmist says, if you say, "The Lord is my refuge," if you say, "I am going to God with my problems, even when I am so upset about what's happening in the world around me, I'm not going to fuss and fight and complain. I'm not going to wallow in self-pity. Instead, I'm going to give it to the Lord." And then he will protect you. Now, you might, if you are familiar with the temptations of Jesus in the wilderness, recognize one of the phrases in this psalm where it talks about the protection of God, the angels keeping your foot from striking against a stone. The devil used this verse to try to tempt Jesus. The devil took Jesus to the highest point of the temple and said, "Throw yourself off, for the Lord has said he will protect you and keep your foot from striking against a stone." Now that is a complete misinterpretation and misrepresentation of what this psalm is all about. It's not that we throw ourselves into harm's way and say, "Okay, God, you got me, right?" No, it's recognizing that when harm is approaching, that we don't need to rush at the harm. We don't need to run away from the harm, but we need to stand firm with God. And he will see us through. That's why Jesus responds and says, "It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." My friends, let's don't test God. Let's trust God. And I'll see you tomorrow for our next daily devotion.